Hi guys, welcome back to the DaisyElleHookery Keep It Short and Sweet series. Today we're going to learn the chain stitch. Now before I get started, I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm also going to tell you that we've got a lot of videos heading your way in this playlist, so click on subscribe and you won't miss any. So we make a slip knot to start, and whatever hook size you're going to use on your project, always make your starting chain on a hook size one size up. So I'm using worsted yarn. I would usually use a 5mm crochet hook with worsted yarn. So on my starting chain I would always use a 6mm hook. It just makes the starting chain a little looser so you can work your first row of stitches into, and it stops that first row from being too tight. So I'm going to put my slip knot on the hook, pull it snug, but I'm not going to strangle my hook. I need it nice and loose, and I need a small gap at the base of my stitch so that my hook can come in and out easily. I don't want that to be tight around there, otherwise I'm going to have trouble getting my hook out. So I keep a nice loose loop to begin. Now this is, if you're learning the chain stitch, then you're a very new beginner. This is where you will learn muscle memory in your hands, and you'll learn how to hold your hook that's comfortable for you and how to hold your yarn that's comfortable for you. This is how I hold my yarn. I keep tension on my yarn simply because I've learned how to squeeze my little finger up and to keep my index finger out. That's where my tension comes from. So grab your yarn and your hook, find a hold that's comfortable for you. You might have to change it in the first few weeks when you're learning. That's okay. Take the knot between your middle finger and your thumb so that you're holding the knot. That way you're not holding that yarn and you're going to strangle the hook. So just hold the actual knot between your middle finger and your thumb, and you put the yarn over the hook. You tilt the hook down and you pull it through. Oh, and the dog's having a scratch. And you put the yarn over the hook, put the hook down, and you pull it through. Yarn over the hook, hook down, and pull it through. And again over the hook, hook down, and pull it through. Now if you're a true beginner, I would start out by getting a ball of yarn and a hook. Look on the yarn band to see what hook size you should be having. You should be looking for around about a 5. If you get a number 4 weight yarn, which is worsted yarn, an Aran if you're in the UK, you can substitute that. You would normally be using a 5mm hook. Use a 6mm hook for your starting chains. Just get in a comfy chair, have a few sessions, 10-20 minutes of just making chains. If you're starting out, then getting the perfect chain in the beginning is key to a lot of tension problems later on. So I've made a few chains there. I've put the yarn over the hook. You always keep the yarn at the back of your hook, so you bring it over to the front and pull it through. So there's a chain. Let me explain the anatomy of the chain. I've worked my chain like this. I take my working yarn in my right hand, and I pull it horizontal like this. You can see the V's in the chain that each stitch makes. The top strand here, so as you've worked the left strand, is generally called the back loop of the chain. The bottom strand here, so as you're working the right hand strand, is called the top loop. If you turn the chain over, you'll see the little bumps on the back, and they are the back bump. So if you see on a pattern, chain 20, say, starting from the second chain on your hook, work into the back bump, these are the back bumps. If you work into the back bumps of the chain, the edge will have a nice little V. 95% of the time I do work into the back bump. If your pattern says work into the second chain from the hook, you wouldn't count this loop on your hook. That loop there never counts as anything. So this first V here is my first stitch. I would be working into the second stitch of my chain. And that, my loves, is a chain stitch. Now, like I said, if you click the subscribe button, you won't miss any of these tutorials. Come and find me on Facebook, where DaisyElleHookery. You can get a member discount if you join our Hookery Corner group of 25% off all the Daisy Elle patterns. And if you sign up for the newsletter, you get a free pattern every month. So it's worth a sign. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.